Alrighty guys, so this time I remembered to enable my camera. Let me quickly switch to music. Okay, so we're live. Welcome to another installment of Forging Altea. Hi Manu. And thank you to Alien and Coming who followed in the last 10 minutes. Unfortunately, there's no beer today because my friends drank it all on the weekend. They did not have the time to buy a new beer, so water it is. I do have some Aperol Spritz left over, but yeah. I hope everybody saw the announcements. So KYC is live. Go over there and start the process. Okay, just setting a few things up. We will continue working on the chest opening scene. It took way longer than I expected, but yeah, quality takes time and I'm really pleased with how it looks right now. I will show you that in a minute. Okay. So yeah, let me switch over. I even said party in the title, and here I am sitting drinking water. Yeah, I guess I showed a few of those things the last time, but I will just do it again for every... Hi Alien, welcome. For some of the guys that haven't seen that yet. So let's enter the game. With this account. Okay, I closed the top too fast. Okay, now it worked. Yeah, so overall what I'm working on is seasons and chests. When I open this, you will see that this looks a bit different. So every chest will now include 5 items. Hi NW. But you can buy a multiple of them. This is not the final graphic, we have another graphic for that. But that's one of the biggest changes, and this will also tie into the seasons. So you can see what you get as a reward for being in a particular rank during a season. So in this case I'm Lord 1. So for every major rank there are 3 sub-ranks. And in Lord 1 I will get 4 chests. 4 for the second Lord and 6 for the final Lord rank. So yeah, this is how this... don't mind this number, so I am on the staging server. We increased the numbers there so we can test better. That's the reason I have Chouffé. I guess I butchered the name, but welcome. That's the reason why I have 18 million gold here. But yeah, this is essentially it. We have a countdown here when the season's going to end and you will receive your rewards. Yeah, that's everything season-wise, I guess. So let us switch to the scene where I've been conducting a little bit of cleanup over the day. Your name seems French, but you entered the chat with hola amigos. So yeah, this is the new chest scene. Some of you that joined the last 2 or 3 streams, I guess, you already saw that. but let me show you what the flow looks like. So we will be working with camera movement today, which will be a little bit wanky because I haven't done that in a while. Come on, Unity. Gotta keep me on my toes here. Always playing the guessing game. What is happening? Am I still streaming? Yeah. Okay, I guess Unity doesn't like me very much today. It's doing something. Yeah, let's end that and restart it. Can also open this because this is where we're going to work in. Let's increase the font so you can read. So for all of you who didn't already, head over to the Launchpad site, start the KYC process. Hey Manu, what's up? How was your stream? Thanks Manu, thanks. Yeah, it's also in the title, right? I'm just dropping the link here. I guess it's the correct one. Let me check. Yeah. So for those who want to participate, KYC is open. You can now start the process. Will do, Manu. You as well. Yeah, what I forgot is changing this. What are we doing? Moving, adding camera movement to just opening. And I just heard we have a new follow. Let me quickly check. Gek something? I will not try to pronounce your name. No, but thank you for the follow. Gecko Pawn? Something like that. Yeah. Welcome. Okay, so let's try again. Gecko Pawn. Okay. I'm not fluent in lead speak, so. Okay, so Unity, please do it now. Play. Don't know what. Now it worked instantly, no idea. It's way easier to pronounce than my name. Yeah, but your name is basically an acronym. It's not pronounceable. That's one of the reasons I always refer to you as MW. But I could say MW Fiai. Fiai? Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. But I guess you have a... There were always problems online, right? People not sure how to pronounce that. Fire. Yeah. Alright, so this is how this looks. Let me quickly activate that. Genau. So let's do this. I guess you've seen that from the previous streams if you were there. But we are now a bit further in. So we have this. And what we have here essentially is when you hover over it, you see from the color the rarity. So this is a legendary. From these particles you see if it's a golden item or if it's not a golden item. So if it's not a golden item, yeah, the particles will be the same color as the shine here. So this is not a golden, but this is a golden item. And if you have a golden item, these particle systems will stay. So this is how this basically look. Hi Mimi. Thanks, Gekopon. Yeah, and then a new chest will fall and we have this disappear things. This is what I did yesterday. This was really fun. But I changed a lot of code for that. Which was, yeah, I did not anticipate that. Hi CKY. No beer today, unfortunately. But yeah, the idea is that people can also double click here. So, and then you will get like a full reveal all at once. Yeah. Yeah, this is the state of it. I really like it. I have a lot of beer. We'll drink for you also, mate. Great. To celebrate this day. Yeah, I was thinking I still have a little bit of Aperol Spritz over. So maybe I will start drinking that. But as I mentioned in the last stream, there were some festivities over the weekend. And the friends of mine drank all of my beer. So can't read it. It's an Arabic one, but have good taste. Well, time to start Arabic, right? Cool. So let me play that again. So what I did the last 15 minutes of my workday yesterday, I just did this over and over again because it's really satisfying. So the thing is, we could now work either on the camera movement here or figure something out with inputs. No golden? This is unheard of. I want a golden item. Yeah, it was an early celebration. Yeah, there are 2 goldens in here. So there is like interaction right now, but this is everything. There's placeholder currently. So yeah, let's figure this camera stuff out because that's what I wanted to do initially. And I have to do it anyways. So we will be working with Cinemachine because this makes stuff easier. But I haven't done that in a while, so bear with me while I try to do things and look like I know what I'm doing. Okay, first off, Cinemachine. And there is always these different kinds of things here. With a dolly camera, with a track, and then with a dolly track with a card. I don't know what's the difference there, but I will just create both of them and see what's going to happen. Okay, you are way over, I don't know. Okay. And this is, we need a brain on here as well, right? No. What we're gonna do is we will parent that here and just reset this. That's true, we don't have any cameras rendering. Oh no. Oh, I hope we can go back. Yeah. Good. Because we need to jot down these numbers because this is the initial position of the cameras. So copy property path. What will I get here? Okay, that's not what I wanted. Position. So we have here these numbers. I will just quickly jot them down. Because as you saw, oh yeah, what I could also do is okay. Let me do this virtuals, and for safety, I will really like copy these values, because I don't want to lose them, and they probably don't want to lose me. So then we have a rotation. And then we need to come up with a good idea to pull this back again. So the camera, because we're going to move the camera, right? And then when we play like this disappear stuff, where items and the chest like disappear into the void. Yeah, we need to also reset the camera somehow without being too noticeable. I don't know. How you find something? Coolio. So I will just keep this here, create this, and we don't have any camera things on here. Cinema machine, so let's just create that. What's this here? A dolly cart. So first off, reset. Okay. So this is the difference here. Let me also create like forward, backward. So we will have these where we go forward when the chest is in anticipation and go back kind of quickly when it's over, essentially. Hello there. My dog just strolled around. She never wants to come in. She doesn't like you guys. Okay, so let's first do this forward thing. What we want to have is probably a dolly with a track, right? It's not state driven, not a free look. Yeah, we need these things. And he added this automatically, which I essentially don't really like. But what we can do here is put in those numbers. So we have the waypoint on this position. And we have a roll here, okay. What? Yeah, reset that. Okay, cool. Probably have to switch cameras here and look into how we do that. Oh, excuse me. Tell her I want to see her. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work. As long as you're not present. I guess the word Martin has no real meaning. Akira, Martin wants to see you. Yeah, there was no reaction. But you can see, I can see her tail. It's not wagging. Okay. Yeah, sorry. It's nothing I can do, you know? Surely because it's English. Yeah, should have started with Japanese. Okay, let's do this. So we have these tracks here. Wasn't there a way to like control these with gizmos and something? This would be way easier. Whoa, what's going to happen here? Set to scene view camera position. Oh, so I can go in, do this, and okay. Gotcha. So when I essentially do this, it does something weird. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, there was like this way to do this, right? No longer have that. So let's quickly chart over these values here as well. And have it at 0 here. So it's sitting there. Okay, so we do have like the thing we had before. Cam dolly. Okay, so what I can do now is like parent this, and yeah, it looks good. So let's test if this still works. Give her a treat now. Don't have any on my hand, and she's not really a treat lover. And she just ate. She's kind of a weird dog, so. Okay, so everything seems to be fine still, which is good. But I can try. Let me quickly try. I will get a treat for her. Stay put. Okay. Okay. There she is. I don't know if you can see her. Oh. Yes. Okay. And she's off again. I guess I have to change like the camera here, right? So I have a second treat, so she will probably come back. It's like a dried sausage. Okay. Very German. Well, you know, the Japanese-German alliance. Akira! I just noticed that my microphone is in the way. Thank you. They are titled as cat dogs, so she is really cat-like. Okay. But I think she's weary because I'm speaking English, and it's weird for her. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And she doesn't understand a word, yeah. She probably doesn't understand German as well, but these special words. Okay. Enough with the tangent. By the way, I just adjusted the camera to not do like this swinging around anymore, because that was really weird last time. So I expect a lot of views now, right? Because we had a dog in camera. Well, I could have switched like to this view, so you could have seen it better. She's still here. She's still here. Kira. Yeah. Yeah, she's a really cute, and she knows that. Okay. What is this? Oh. What? So the camera is here. How? Shouldn't it be like fixed to the dolly here? Yeah, it should, I guess. Another weapon here, arsenal, yeah. Okay, this is really weird. So this should be normalized anyways. I don't get it really. Why it's rendered off here. So if I do this, so it does take this into account. I don't know. It's just overridden or something. Probably should update to the new version of this, but yeah. Okay, so with this dolly, we can now, like, as you just seen, with the camera, we can just say, hey, you are now at this position and stuff like that. What we need to do is like position the dolly here. This should be probably not that wide, and the resolution, yeah, that probably don't need that much. Looped. Oh, you can loop that. I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, this will be weird to do, but we need to adjust this. So it would probably be good to do this just to see how it's going to work out. So we need these. Now we're just going to change like this value here. What's up with the roll? Is this going to be visualized? The funky Star Wars music though. Yeah, the playlist was really nice. There are a lot of lo-fi versions of like the Pokemon theme and Stardew Valley, Star Wars, even some Game of Thrones things in there. And these are meant to be played while streaming, right? So I can upload the video to YouTube without getting a strike. So, okay, now I get these. Okay. Right. Can I get this in global? In local? It's local already. So probably want to preview what's going to happen. So when I do this now, okay, you can see what's going to happen. I want to change this so we can't see that anymore. Excuse me. Yeah, you can see at 1 we are completely here. So when I start to move this stuff around again, you can also see what's happening here. Okay. Question is, do we need 2 dollies? Because my idea was like getting this thing in, so we will slowly move in and then move back. We probably can do this with that, but I want to change like the initial thing here. I don't want this rotation stuff to be there anymore, really. Or rather, I don't want the X rotation anymore, because that's it's creating problems. So with this roll values, what's up with that? Okay, so I can do that. So I could just roll this in a particular direction if I wanted to. I want to have a -6 here. We can probably just do it with that, right? Just move slowly in and move back, because I wanted to do this in a different direction, but I guess we don't need to do that. It's probably good enough. And I don't want to use like a sequencer for that, because the tweening it will be much easier. Maybe we should also add a screen shake, something like that. I guess we have like a package for that. Or just let me Google that. Unity Cinemachine screen camera shake, right? We do have something like that. How to shake camera with Cinemachine. Use the noise module. Noise, okay. Confiner, volume, don't need any of that. And then, whatever can I do with that? Ooh, we should also probably do something else here. because we like have this aim thing. And then we could actually do what I wanted to do. So I would not be concerned about rotations here in any sort of way. Let's try that as well. Let's kill these virtuals. We have like this dolly here. I don't know if we need the roll because it's, yeah. I will keep off from the noise for now because I guess we have something better for that. Where's the package miniature? There it is. My assets, shake. Enaki, welcome. Ooh, I could probably just use Tween for that. Unity do Tween, shake camera. Hi Karak, welcome. Vibrato. Do Tween shake method. There is like a shake. Okay. This is nice. I will use that. Yeah. Cool. So thing we need here is like look at probably need this here, and this needs to be, I can cheat. I guess I'm just going to do this, pause that, go into chest armature, and just steal this Kirby component. And it's been quite some time since I did some camera work. Okay, so this is offsetted. I thought it would be. Because you wrote MW's name on all caps, and Nightbot doesn't like that. Okay, with the ad, it's okay. Okay, so let's place it there. Give it to the camera here. This makes it easier. Oh yeah, we have the follow target. Where's the target? Follow. Look at. There it is. Look at. Cool, yo. So now I can change stuff around with this, which is very neat. I'm very quiet. Okay, so I can see if I can get this louder. Is it better now? Test. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test. Yeah, I need to get a new. It's crackling noises now. It's somehow worse. Test, test, test. Yeah, there's like this sweet spot here, right? Test. Oh no, now it should be really good. So let me know if that's better. So OBS tells me I'm in the yellow, area, which is best. When I'm really loud, I'm also hitting the red, so it should be volume-wise, it should be good. So when I'm talking, I'm always like 2 times louder than Spotify is. So that should be okay. Cool. Yeah, so we have a look at now, which is okay. So we could also like follow the thing from above and stuff. So you can move this runtime and it would just follow. I'm interested what will do. Nothing. Okay. With the camera here, we now have like this thing, which is probably quite okay. So what this is telling us, if the view is ever out of this bounds, it will just swoosh along, right? You can see my mouth move, but not. Okay, I think that's the problem. Huh. But why? I haven't changed the setup, so I would understand if I changed the setup. So I can still boost it a little bit more. Maybe that's better. But if I do too much, it will sound weird. I can also check banana. Yeah, seems to come through, I guess. So we can turn down the compression. I don't have a gate on, so that should be fine. And when I look at this, mic properties, I use the output from this, so this should be good. Test, so I can also like add these things here, which I probably don't hear myself. Yeah, there I can add an echo. Does anyone have problems me hearing? Because if none of the others have problems, I think it's a problem on your end, Garrett. Also can like add these effects. But I guess we don't want this. Okay. I wanted to do this. We hear the effects, yeah. I know. But please stop. Okay, when I do this now and do like the old switcheroo here. This is still fine. Probably need to do this a little bit more like this. Stay on top. Probably not even that far. So let me put it on 1 and move it around. Okay, let's see if it changed anything. Okay, so probably on the end. Okay. Put it at 1 again. Maybe pull a bit back. So the cool thing is with that, we don't need this anymore because we will do this. Yeah, you want that. Not anymore, my friend. Do we have a reference to that? If yes, we should remove that. No, we don't. The camera, the hoodie looks like it would be white, but it's like a greenish color. Technology is weird, guys. Okay, we don't need that anymore, so we will get rid of it. But what we're going to need is a reference to the virtual camera. Yeah, and then we just animate that, and that was pretty fast actually. I thought this would be much more complicated. Let's do that, right? We will have a field here from settings. Watching on our phone, also myself, general sound level is lowish. Yeah, sound is always an issue. Especially when you have like many devices where the playback is happening. Kind of with games. You make a game, it works on your phone, but there are so many phones out there. Good. Yeah, I will keep it probably at settings and stuff. I need the IDM camera for things. Box group settings, and here I will just say virtual camera, Cinemachine virtual camera, and we'll just dub it camera. I hope that's okay. Virtual camera to be used for the sequence. Cool. I don't think we have this code anymore. Sequence predicate. Cutscene or something. Scene. Because I used this before, and probably want to have start here. Be called on Unity start, and when I have the camera here, I want to get a component, and this will be a dolly Cinemachine tracked dolly. Okay, so I don't need to know the old code. This should be what I want. If dolly equals null, we don't do anything. Should never happen, but. And then we want to set this to normalize if anybody does change anything in the editor, which is bound to happen. I want to set this to the correct one. You can look at all of the commands here. I don't know if there's a help. I guess not. Yeah, these are some old commands here. Camera, where is it? There it is. What we want to do is here and animate. And we do need to have this in 2 steps anyway, so we should probably change this. I don't know, called start, something like that. We don't do anything if it's not enabled. We want to do that for sure, and then we want to have the chest fall. That's what we want to do anyways. And for that we don't need chest. We just want to have a open here, pending chest. Where we have all of these shenanigans. Alrighty. And yeah, I will delete this for now. Start is not a good thing. I think correct. What to call this? I don't know. Prepare. Yeah, something like that. Reset is also like, okay, play, open animation. This only works if we are prepared. If is prepared.
Yes, it's good to see you all again. Yet he is no ordinary man.
And we want to do this. Okay, so then we want to have this flag whether the clam chest scene is prepared, and we will set this to true here. And set this to false here. Probably here. Without glasses? Do we have a photo on there without glasses? No. I have glasses on. But here, probably. Yeah. Here's one without classes. So you will now well, I need to come up with something here because this will not work like I want to. But this is for future me. For now, we want something else, and that is await play prepare animation, await play open animation with the chest. Yeah. So this should be the same as before. I guess he's busy doing something else. I don't know. So let's. Okay. Why do we have it here? This would mean for me that we need to have to look at more here. When I set the cam, where's the body? Body, yeah, there it is. To 0. Still have this view, right? Yeah, that looks good. The cam. Okay, it was offsetted, but why? Huh. Okay, never mind. Okay, what we want to do here is we want to have where is it? Yeah, we probably need to do something else, but that's okay. We will look into that later. We want to start a tween here. So when I have a camera here, I get the dolly. I could probably save that. Private cine machine, track dolly, camera dolly, camera dolly. Where's the start? There it is. We were going to use that, so we will just get this once. Dolly module of the cine machine camera to use. This is its own name, so that's fine. yeah, so we have the dolly here. We know it's normalized, so we can just do a do tween, do tween 2. We want to use the current value here, which would be the path position. Then we have the value here, which would be setting the path position. Well, we have the end value, which would be 1. The duration I will just set to something arbitrary for now. And then a easing. Set ease is linear. Can we wrap that? What? Oh, it would fit, but with these annotations it doesn't. Okay. What we want here is we want to save this camera movement. And when we here, we just want oh boy. These are so the locations that I'm using, these are referenced from the cameras, right? So what I'm drawing here with gizmos. So I need to be careful how I'm going to approach that, because depending on where we are in this tween, things will be different. And this is not the correct place to do this as well. Yeah, there's a classic case of async code that will not work with async await. Do I want to return 2 promises for that? Probably not. Because the problem is like here, if I have this open promise, but really what I want 2 things. I want to be notified when it's completely over, so when the orbs are out of view, and I want to have knowledge about when the impact is happening. Seems to me I need events. Question is, do I just use these? I know we have like 3 phases for the open, but I really only care about this. Right. So many questions. What I need for sure is I want to kill this, and I don't want it to be finished. Okay, so this is default. When we are done with that, okay, so let's add these settings here. We have settings items, but I want settings camera, serialized field box. Should be probably fold out settings camera. Camera move in duration, so this is the movement to move in. Do want to annotate that with seconds. Did you hear Kira? Photo group, settings, camera, private ease, camera move in easing. Default should be a linear. And the target. Right. Photo group, settings, camera. This should be a range from 0 to 1. Suffix %. Private float, camera move in, target. I will set this to 1 for now. Cool, so let's use those. This is the target. So now I want to wrap it. Yeah, thank you. Camera move and easing. Coolio. So yeah, let's just see how this looks. It will not move back and things will look different, but I just want to see the current state of it. Ooh, we could do the same here, right? Yeah. I'm just looking at how to clean this up. Yeah, let's take those and pull them down. Move in. And add those to camera. Right. Yeah. Target of the tween. Using of UAI. So I always just start typing my comment and the AI mostly knows what to complete it with. So this is always nice. Okay, so we have this now. This also, when we reset, we want to be sure that the position here will be 0. Yes. Yeah. I guess it's too fast. Move in probably like this, and then we're just going to use my favorite thing here. Maybe a sign, an in sign. I don't know. Let's time it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Okay, 3.5. Maybe we want a in quad. Yeah, that's very close to it, I'd say. Okay, so let's add like this move out in. We do need the same parameters for that, so I will copy those. Move out. Okay, so now here's the question. For that to work, I also need the camera. And I need to, do I have the virtual camera? I do. Transform to shake. Vibrato randomness, okay. Yeah, I will expose those because it's easier for me to do that. Like these. I don't know what's the difference between start and impact. What's the difference? Oh, yeah, I know what's the difference. And I should probably use those as well, right? Yeah. But this should... Yeah, this should be good. Yeah, let's do that. We're just pulling them along. The first occurrence wins, probably. Oh, it's phased anyways. Okay. These should not be called on, but handle. Handle hide. Close. Okay. So let's add those. You probably want to have those as things, yeah. So below here, after glow, serialized field, folder group, events, private unity event, open start, serialized field, folder group, open impact, open, what was it? End? I don't know. those. Yeah, we can play around with those. Editor, public, open items, animation event. Editor, public, open. Public, open, start event. And I will just copy those. Go to the top and get rid of those. Impact, and I always want to just write a 0 here. Yeah, this is what I want. And then here we can do fun stuff. And start. We can go in and say chest on. Wait, what? Oh, it's still private. On open start, handle chest open start, and then add listener, and then on open let's do impact. Handle chest open impact, create those methods. Let's go down here where we have the handle methods. Handles the open start from the chest. And in here we want to do the stuff. Where is it? There it is. Cam movement, cam move in between. I just want to have it as a tween. Can be now. Can be more. Current camera movement in tween. Kill. I can propagate that, very nice. I would set it to null after, and then we have the other tween here. Camera move out duration, camera move out target So with that in place, we can keep like this async stuff up here, which is very clear to read, right? And we're just using the events for that. MW means everyone, I guess. So for everybody who is interested, we kicked off the, it's also in the title, global. We kicked off the KYC process for our launchpad. This can be found here. So if you want to invest, just head over there, start the process. Yeet. Yeah, let's see if this works. I probably want to have this like really fast with a easing. Out cubic. And we want to have 0 here. And we also want to add a shake. Forgot that. Where is it? Impact. Camera. Transform. Do shake. I don't know. I guess I need to create things for that. Do shake position. Cam shake duration. Cam shake strength. So I want to set this to 90 and this to 10 by default because that was still have been the values. Strength. Wasn't strength like a vector? You can do it as a vector. Okay. Otherwise it will be uniformly, I guess. So, yeah, let's use it that way for now. I don't know, a 1, 2.5. Serialized field, fold out, group would be settings, camera shake. A suffix of seconds. Yes, that's correct. Serialized field, fallout, settings, camera shake. Cool. So put these where they belong. There are so many options here. I hate when this happens, but I don't want to strip it out to another component and stuff. Duration of the camera shake strength. Vibrato. Randomness of the camera shake. Okay. Yeah, that should work, because I was worried that the time to move the camera back, but it should be really quick, would be intersecting with the time the orbs take to take flight and stuff. Then we would have like weird positioning, but okay, there's 0 for some reason. Strength of 1. This would be, I guess this is way too much, but we are not calling the things. Let's start calling the things. On open start invoke. On open impact invoke. On open items invoke. And we probably also want to unregister from those, just to keep things tidy. This file is already so long. I'll destroy. Cool. So let's see what's happening. Okay, it's not bad. I didn't see a shake, so let me quickly do that. Also do like, yeah, 0, 2, I don't know. Where's my eSyncs table? We probably want out quint. Circ. I guess expo is too much. Is there a camera shake? I guess there isn't. Question is, can I do this if it's controlled via that thing? Probably not. So we have to look into how to do this with Cinemachine. That's unfortunate. Unity, camera, Cinemachine, camera shake. Yeah, let's quickly just watch this video.
In this video, we're going to apply these awesome. And now we can see that we need a noise profile. Now there are already some pre-made presets. So for example, let's use the 6D shake. And now here we can play around with these values. So here with the game running, we can see the noise in action. Now here by modifying the frequency, we can adjust how often the camera shakes. And by modifying the amplitude, we can adjust how much it actually shakes. So as we increase, then each shake moves the camera much further. So in this case, what we're going to do is set the frequency to a certain value. And then all we need is a script that sets the amplitude to a certain amount and then slowly decreases it back down to 0. Alright, so let's make that script. Here, let's create a new C# script. Call this our Cine Machine Shake.
Yeah, let's do that. For that, we need camera. So camera music back on. Camera gets Cine Machine component noise. If I can type it. Cine Machine noise. Is this something I can already use? Noise, no. Let's continue with the video. I will just put it here so you can see as well.
And let's drag the script onto our virtual camera game.
Yeah. How are you gonna do that?
Here we're going to receive a float for the intensity.
Cine Machine, basic multi-channel Perlin. Yeah, obviously. Basic multi-Perlin. Camera shake. Nice. So what we want to have is we want to use this shake. We can even go in and do this. Yeah. I think amplitude gain and frequency is fine. That is camera shake strength. Camera shake. Okay, what was it when I do this? Nothing is happening. I have compiler errors, yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay, also the pivot offset, but we probably don't need that. No. I guess not. So now when I play, this. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so we want strength and intensity. Whoopsie. Yeah, we want a duration, right? Haha. God, so much code. Where is it? I'm in the wrong file. Okay. Can remove out strength. We don't need these two. Let me quickly check again, because I already forgot. What is happening? Yeah, we don't have that. When I press play, activate that thing, go to the camera, noise. So the gain is the strength and the frequency is the intensity. Okay, camera shake. Seconds. Come on. Camera shake duration. Avoid promise. Delay duration. I need an async for that. And after that, we will just set both of those back to 0. Coolio. Yeah, I guess we finished that, the stream. When we first started, I thought this would take longer, but then I thought it would take less because I thought that Cinemachine was really not that hard, but it has been quite some time since I worked with it, and even if you already worked with something like that, it's always like there's always things you don't know then, even if you did work with it. Okay, I again wanted to check because I'm not sure if I translated that correctly. Noise. The gay frequency. Okay, so this is should be like this. Okay, set it to 0 here. So we can now set this here. Camera check. Probably want something like this, I guess. Let's make it big. Do this. Do this. Whoa! That was a big shake, yeah. But it's not that bad, right? Maybe a bit too much. Yeah, good. It's too much. So let's put this at 1 each. Maybe I do want more intensity. I don't know. Let's fill it with that. Strength is still too much. Okay, that was nothing. The duration also, keep that a little bit down. Yeah, it's looking quite good. We need like 3 seconds here, but the risk 15 here. Head from Animal Crossing. Should be that way. Boop. We need to do something here. This dry delay should be probably this. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I just sit here and click away, which is a good thing. I'm not quite sure if we should get closer. I don't know. Should we get closer? Just a bit. So the best thing would be to put this as 1. Take the cam here. Oh no. That was wrong. I want to have it this way. Yeah, we need more of that. Let me quickly do that. Oh, we do need to be careful here. Because you can see like the void back here, right? We don't want to show that. This is again something where I say, is there something that I can save this here in play mode? Probably not. Okay, so then we'll turn back. It's a bit closer, that's okay. Don't save, let's do this. And have a look-see. Should be higher. Dolly cam 1. Dolly. We have to be careful here as well, right? Because I already saw like the black over there. Ay. Okay, so let's look at it frame by frame. Yeah, I guess that this is happening. Also, when we are starting, where is it? Start. I want the camera dolly position to be at 0. And I want the I want the camera shake to be 0 as well. Yeah. I have a feeling this setting doesn't work. Let's look again. Because like the streaks in the sky, like yeah, they're the orbs. And we have these streaks, right? The trails. And they disappear when we destroy them. And this happens, yeah, before we do any of that. And we have a setting for this, which would be item orb, destroy delay. But apparently, oh, this is the wrong thing. I changed the wrong thing. We need it here, and I want to apply that. Yeah. Maybe let's put it on something like this. Also, I changed dollies by accident. Are we already here? Okay. I wanted it. Yeah. That's the thing, right? You can see the black of night over there. Not totally happy about that. Because I think the chest is too much out of frame. But for that I need to do this kinda, then we'll see. The question is it bad that you see that? I mean, I could always do this. Let's do this. You don't really see that. Okay, so that should be fine. That also means we need to change a few things back because I changed them. This was at 0. I don't know, something. Let's see if that works. There we have those coming in, exploding. Yeah, that works. Great. Do I want to have it closer? There's like a setting for that. Circle. We could go like a little bit closer here. Maybe that's too close. Where is it? Circle, 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 circle. You see how many settings I have here? It's insane. Ah yeah, and OBS is refusing to work again. I see. Yeah, two was a good value. But I should probably do this, go into the dolly and straighten it out a bit. Something like that. Yeah, after you have all these settings, it's just fiddling around. You can do hours with this. Yeah, that's fine. So let's do this, make it big, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it, right? I know what the artists are gonna say. It's too much in the front, so probably have to do a bit of an angle here. Oh, that's just fine. Cool. So camera stuff in. Finished on the dot. Not quite, but 1 minute after. But yeah, I will take the dog out because I forgot before the stream. I just realized. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thanks for coming by. Have a great rest of the evening and great rest of the week and a great weekend. And as always, I will see you next week, hopefully. If not, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe I'm back with a beer again. Yeah. Until then, guys, take care. Bye.